Now at 5:30, a man and his daughter are dead in central Kentucky this morning. Police call it a murder-suicide. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
Also on WKYT this morning, an escapee from the Madison County Detention Center is back behind bars now.
A much cooler air is creeping in our direction. I'll show you how low we go with these numbers because it will feel amazing outside. I have all that coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. A nice change coming to our weather as we welcome you into WKYT This Morning here on Tuesday, May 12th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Depending on where you were yesterday, you may have seen a lot of rain or just a little bit. I happened to just see a little bit of a blip of it, and then it was sunny again right in time as I went to bed. So that's how that always works out.
I know it's kind of hard to go down when you still have that sunlight out there.
Sleep.
This time of year. Yeah. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, yesterday, like you were talking about, Rebecca, it was just kind of hit and miss. North of Lexington got it pretty, it was pretty ugly at times. And then Lexington didn't really see that much rain. We actually picked up out of the airport just about 0.15 inches, and that's it. So some of us got really heavy rain and strong storms. Other of us just stayed pretty warm. We actually hit 89 degrees officially in Lexington yesterday. 64 there in Richmond this morning. It's pretty mild this morning, but once we go through the day and get this front on out of here, we saw a few sprinkles down in southeastern Kentucky. Once that moves on out, then we're talking about a very nice day in store. 70 degrees, you gotta love that. Lower humidity too, that's big, but the pollen count, what about that? I'll have your pollen forecast and also how long we hold on to these temperatures coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Now on to breaking news this morning. Another powerful earthquake has hit Nepal. It's only been 3 weeks since an earlier earthquake devastated that region.
The 7.3 magnitude earthquake of today was centered in the western part of the country near the Chinese border. Authorities are reporting that at least 4 people have been killed. The previous 7.8 magnitude quake that hit on April 25th killed more than 8,000 people. We're tracking the latest developments on the story this morning. We'll bring you the latest information as soon as it comes into us here.
While we're expecting some nicer weather today, yesterday brought a little bit of damaging storms to a lot of the bluegrass.
Storms brought down trees and power lines in parts of Scott County. WKYT's Mark Barber is live from Scott County this morning, where the National Weather Service will be later today to survey the damage. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. And the National Weather Service will be taking a look at the area that was hit the hardest, which is along Kentucky 227 and Stamping Ground here in Scott County. That's where emergency management officials say that power lines and trees were downed and then shingles were ripped off the roofs when that storm hit late yesterday afternoon. Now we're told that the storm also ripped electrical boxes off the walls of at least 3 homes. Crews worked for several hours last night on Riley Street to restore power to those affected by the storm. This morning, people are also cleaning up storm damage over in Woodford County, where strong winds snapped 2 trees on Amsden Avenue in Versailles. Neighbors say that those trees came crashing down in just 30 seconds. One fell onto the road, blocking it for several hours, and another crashed onto a house.
The rain was so hard, that's what I heard first. And then I heard crack, boom, bam, glass break, and just that quick. It shot glass all the way across the room.
Neighbors say that despite the damage, fortunately no one was hurt. Now again, the National Weather Service will be heading out to Stamping Ground this morning to survey the damage. Live in Scott County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. And we're learning some new information this morning about a deadly crash in Woodford County. The Woodford County coroner says 34-year-old Justin Jelensky was killed when his motorcycle hit a telephone pole last night on Old Frankfort Pike. Jelensky, who is from Lexington, was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators think speed played a role in the crash.
Well, we are tracking a developing story this morning out of Hardin County. State police there tell us 2 people are dead after a murder-suicide. WKYT's Hillary Thornton at the live desk with a look at what we know so far on this. Good morning.
Good morning. Kentucky State Police say an 11-year-old girl and her father are dead as a result of the shooting that troopers are investigating as a murder-suicide. Around 9 o'clock last night, emergency crews responded to a call of multiple gunshot victims in the 300 block of Willow Crossing Court in the Vine Grove community, which is near Radcliffe. When officers arrived, they say they found 49-year-old John Jonas and his 11-year-old daughter lying in the side yard of a home. Kentucky State Police and the Hardin County coroner were then called in to investigate the shooting. And again, while this investigation is ongoing, troopers say all preliminary findings indicate they are dealing with an apparent murder-suicide. Autopsies for both Jonas and his daughter are scheduled for later this morning at the State Medical Examiner's office in Louisville. At the live desk, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Such a sad, tragic story. Thanks so much, Hillary. In other news, a theft suspect is back in custody this morning after police say she escaped from the Madison County Detention Center. The Madison County jailer tells us 27-year-old Alexandria Smith was found at a Richmond motel around 8 o'clock last night. She's now facing a felony escape charge. Investigators say yesterday afternoon Smith was using one of the jail's phones when a jail employee left the room. The door of that room did not close all the way. That's how she got out, then made it outside through an open garage door.
Now 5:35 on WKYT this morning. A Western Kentucky family at the center of a court case that's getting some worldwide attention is set to be arraigned in court later today. Joe and Nicole Nogler say the state took their 10 children from them because of their off-the-grid lifestyle. In court yesterday, it was decided that for now the couple will not get their children back. The family lives in the small community of Garfield in Breckinridge County and is expecting their 11th child. Child Social Services say they took the children because they don't have running water in the home. But the family says they live in a cabin and they have access to water and a working toilet. The parents are facing criminal charges.
On to some national news this morning. 3 people were injured in a shooting near the University of California Santa Barbara campus.
Authorities there say they think the shooting was sparked by a domestic dispute in Isla Vista. They say one of the people shot is also a suspect. Text messages from the university warned students about the situation. The violent event comes just days before the somber one-year anniversary of the killing of 6 students on May 23, 2014.
Well, the son of presidential hopeful Rand Paul set to be in court later today. William Paul was cited for DUI last month in Lexington. Police say the 22-year-old was in the driver's seat of an SUV that crashed into a parked car on Woodland Avenue. An officer said Paul smelled of alcohol, had slurred speech, and was belligerent. He was taken to the hospital to be treated for injuries to the face, and because of that, police say he was cited rather than arrested. A spokesperson for the senator said, quote, Senator Rand Paul does not comment on any private matters in regards to his family.
The 2015 governor's race in Kentucky is heating up. The 4 Republicans running for Kentucky governor gathered for another debate. KET hosted that debate last night as part of Kentucky Tonight, seen statewide. Abuse allegations against James Comer, made by a college girlfriend, Marilyn Thomas, came up early in the debate. Comer again denied the allegations. Both he and Matt Bevin have blamed Hal Heiner's campaign for pushing the story, which is something Heiner denies.
And it's unfortunate that something like this would come out 2 weeks before the primary. I've been in politics for 15 years. We've never heard anything like this until the day that I filed for governor.
We've had no involvement whatsoever in the fact that this young lady felt the need to come forward. We've had 0 involvement. Never met her, never talked with her.
Up until about a month ago, we were having good civil discourse. And there was one campaign, and everybody knows which campaign it was, that decided to soil the bed. And it's a shame.
I've made it plain that I don't deal in yesterdays. I address tomorrow's, Kentucky's problems of tomorrow and the solutions. And that's where I'm going to stay.
The primary election is May 19th, and that is 1 week from today. The front-running Democratic candidate for the governor's seat, Attorney General Jack Conway, plans to hold a news conference later today. Conway plans to announce, quote, significant developments about the investigation into Marathon oil and gasoline prices in Kentucky. The conference is to be in Louisville this afternoon at Jefferson Square Park. They will be at 1:30.
This one comes from a little bit strange file. The campaign for the White House got a little bit strange yesterday. Rand Paul's New Hampshire political director was caught getting fresh with a camera. David Chesley licked a camera during a campaign event yesterday in Londonderry. The camera belonged to American Bridge. That's an opposition research firm that follows and records Republican candidates. Let's see it. Where is it? Okay, there's that thing. Oh, that happened. Chesley served as the state's Republican Party director before joining Paul's campaign. Well, doctors are warning folks to be on the lookout for ticks as the season has started earlier than normal. Experts say heavy snow this winter may have acted as a blanket for ticks, insulating them from the cold. While most ticks that latch on aren't too dangerous, doctors say to still be careful when removing them. They say to soak the tick in peroxide or alcohol and pull it off. Yikes. Oh, this pains me to even read this with tweezers.
All right, but a good idea to get those out, certainly. A new tribute has been unveiled for all Kentucky State Police troopers and officers who have died in the line of duty. A memorial statue is now in front of the KSP Training Academy in Frankfort. And while it honors all troopers who lost their lives, the statue is of Trooper James McNeely, who died after falling into the Kentucky River in 1972. His daughter attended yesterday's ceremony.
It was very overwhelming. It's been 43 years since it's happened, and very proud and honored that they are recognizing all the state troopers plus my father.
State police say they have raised $72,000 of the $100,000 needed to finish paying for the tribute.
5:40 is the time. An advocacy group for a historic building in Lexington says several $1,000s have been raised to save the building from demolition. People for the Peoples says just more than $30,000 have been raised to save the People's Bank on South Broadway. The Warwick Foundation wants to move the building further downtown to use as a gateway to the center of the city. That will cost $850,000. The foundation has already contributed $300,000 to the total of that $850,000. That's a lot of money to move a building. Never knew.
A lot of people are enamored, certainly, with the architect of that building.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on bright and early, 20 before 6 now. And we'll take a look outside at the interstate and see what is going on right now.
You know, it's looking pretty good. We did notice yesterday on our way down to Richmond through Madison County on I-75 that paving work is still going on, so keep that in mind that they have some of the lanes blocked off there as you're headed south. Still a whole lot more to come, though, this morning.
And there's more of that going on in Rockcastle County as well, by the way, and a lot of patching of potholes.
Right.
Lots
so you
got
to just be patient if you can.
Right.
Well, the selling of a painting is breaking world records this morning, and we will tell you why.
And we're looking outside, very mild conditions this morning. It gets much better as we slide into the afternoon. No more 80s in the forecast. Oh, for now. And I'll show you how low we go with those cooler temperatures coming up.